We are now officially in summer, which means endless days at the pool and beach, soaking up the rays and enjoying life. We're here to tell you, pump the brakes and don't forget the SPF. Let's welcome Dr. Bradley Saylors, board-certified dermatologist at Trident Dermatology. So when you say wear the SPF, that's sort of sacrilegious to a lot of us here in the Lowcountry because we all want that glowing summertime tan.
Sure.
But before we even get there, we're probably all going to be suffering from some sunburns.
Sure.
So what exactly is a sunburn?
So hopefully you won't be, but if it happens, and for some folks it's inevitable, a sunburn is a form of a radiation burn. So your skin is damaged and a lot of swelling and inflammation comes and you feel red and hot and swollen, and then ultimately your skin cells die and some of them peel off. So it's a burn.
It's an actual
It's usually a minor first-degree burn.
And some people are more prone to it than others.
Sure. So fair skin people like myself,
yes,
with blonde hair, blue eyes, are more likely to burn, and so they need to be extra careful.
So if we suffer from one of these burns, what's the best way to treat it? I know that there's a lot of things on the market, a lot of different products, a lot of different techniques and home remedies too. What would you recommend?
So as soon as you recognize you're getting burned, try to remove yourself from that situation. You can take a cool bath or like an oatmeal bath just to soothe the effects. You can also take an aspirin or an ibuprofen to kind of help with some of the inflammation. And then you can also use a hydrocortisone or mild steroid cream to improve some of the itching or burning that you might have after the fact.
And how about aloe vera?
Aloe vera, if it's soothing, you're welcome to use it. That's perfectly fine.
How should we prevent it?
So you should prevent it with good lifestyle behaviors and choices. Of course, sunscreen, and we'll touch on that in a minute. But really trying to avoid the peak hours of the day, 10 to 4 p.m. That's when the sun's going to be strongest. So if you're a golfer, you might choose an early tea time or a late tea time. Or if you're a runner, you might go run early in the morning or late in the afternoon. And really seek shade when you're out there.
And there's all kinds of clothes too that are very light but long sleeves. So you're covering the skin, but you're not suffering in the heat.
Of course. So a barrier is the best. That's even better than sunscreen. So a hat or long sleeves and pants. And
let's talk about that SPF because there's so many different types of SPF. There's 10 SPF, there's 30, there's 50. Where does it sort of stop being effective?
It doesn't. The higher the better. We used to always just say 30 or above, but really a 90 is going to be better than a 60. But shoot for at least a 30 and look for a broad spectrum sunscreen.
What does that mean?
That means it's going to block UVA and UVB, which are two forms of ultraviolet light that the sun emits. So you're going to get better protection. And then you want to make sure you reapply because if you're in the water sweating, it's going to come off. And even if you're not, the benefit of the sunscreen is going to diminish over time. So try to reapply every couple hours.
Is there any other preparation for your skin that one should do? Most likely for the face, I would say. In the evening,
yes, you should be using a retinoid or retinol. So the sun is going to break down your collagen and elastin. Those are the things that keep your skin looking young. And retin A or retinol contains vitamin A, and that helps promote collagen synthesis to kind of build the skin back up. So in an ideal world, you'd be wearing your sunscreen and doing your good behavior during the day, and then in the evening you'd put on retinol or retinoid before you go to bed to kind of counteract the effect that the sun might have had already.
And do this every night?
Ideally, you're doing it year-round. So the summer shouldn't be that different from the fall or the winter, with the exception that the days are longer and you need to be more cognizant.
And they say never mistake a cloudy day for being one that you're free from having to wear this SPF.
And that's a good point. I looked on my phone. Most people have iPhones nowadays, and if you check your weather, it'll say the UV index. If you scroll down, I don't know if you've ever seen that. 0 is a low score, 10 is a high score, and when I was driving here just now, it's very shady out, but it's still a high UV score of 6. So you can easily get burned, and you're not feeling it as much on a day like today.
Yes.
So be extra careful on those cloudy days.
Absolutely. Dr. Saylors, thank you so much. Great advice.
Thank you.
We're back after this.